Can you guys elaborate on what she would do for student debt? Because that's what a lot of my friends are dealing with right now. I graduated college about a year and a half ago, and I was really blessed. I didn't even understand student debt, but because my parents had paid for the entirety of my college, I couldn't have started this if I had I had to pay $40K off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like for instance, Slugs is going to have student debt when she leaves Northeastern. What's Tulsi going to do for Slugs?
So her thing is that she is somebody she's not a reactionary, right? She's, like I said, she's very mission oriented, and she wants to get to the root of the problem. So, you have other candidates who are saying like, okay, let's just cancel all student debt. But what's that going to do? It's the problem is still going to continue with whoever else, in the future. They're going to have the same problems. So for her, she really wants to get to the root of the problem. She understands that a lot of these universities, what they're charging is, these ridiculous fees. Yeah. Like I went to Salem State, and I ended up $60,000 in debt.
What? At a state school?
At a state school.
It's insane how much money college costs right now.
Yeah.
I know, Brennan, what was the tuition we had started at PC? Do you remember?
It's around $60,000 a year.
It was when we had started. I believe the tuition was like 48, and we had ended, and it was $12,000 more a year.
Right.
It's a scam.
Well, it's just like they just figure they're going to increase it 5% a year. My daughter went to Fordham, and they said basically, it's going to increase 5% a year just because. Not that inflation is at that rate or whatever. It's just going to increase at that rate every year.
It's absurd.
Right. So, she wants to look at, the bureaucracy of it, because that's where a lot of these fees, they come from. And, these administrators, and it's just, they're getting paid this exorbitant amount of money. And at the end of the day, is the outcome any better for, the students? Are we really that much more educated? We have a lot of people who, they are coming out of school with this massive debt. They were sold on this whole story that you're going to go to school, you're going to get this education, you're going to get this, wonderful job when you get out. Right. I'm an example of that, Right. Like I studied chemistry. I'm not a chemist, because, if I were to get a job as a chemist, I wouldn't be making as much money as I make now. And I'm a pharmacy technician. Like, and I didn't have to go to school and put myself $60,000 in debt for that,
You definitely did not have to go to college to start a podcast. I'll tell you guys how much.
Right. So, so she wants to focus more on like apprenticeships, and what she wants to do is bring about legislation that will help, people with student debt actually be able to file for bankruptcy, because it's the only type of debt that you cannot file for bankruptcy. So I don't know if you had a cosigner, Slugs, with any of your debt, or with your loans, but, God forbid something happens to you, then whoever cosigned for you, they got to pay for it, it's just never ending,
So I just want to make sure I understand this. So what she's going to do is she going to forgive is it all public school loan debt? Or what is she actually going to do? How is she going to put more money in Slugs' pocket? Is that a thing?
I mean, she definitely wants to look at how to forgive certain types of debt. So if you work, in the service sector, then obviously there are programs that are intact now for that, but the actual percentage of people that actually get the loans forgiven is like 1%. So she definitely wants to expand that. And again, she wants to, help people file for bankruptcy for it. She wants to have, free public 4-year college tuition.
So pretty much everyone who has debt now, though, is shafted. It's like the new generation will be a little bit better off.
I don't want to speak for, we're not speaking for the campaign, right? But I think her approach is like, if there's a problem, she's going to address it and she's going to deal with it, right? I don't know what her specific program is for cutting student debt, but that's a serious problem that we have. They have this whole generation that can't afford to buy a house or whatever because they just don't have, they're living paycheck to paycheck because of this student loan debt. So that is something that she's going to address. And one of the things is the ability to declare bankruptcy, but there has to be some reconciling with this problem of cutting student debt. So I have no doubt that would happen under a Gabbard administration, that she would address that issue.
It's one thing I just don't understand. And again, I'm not the most political person. I'm learning more. But why, as Americans, do we penalize people who want to be productive members in our society? It's like, she's going to go to school, she's going to put in all this work, then she leaves and she's already at a disadvantage to someone who maybe just learned everything on YouTube.
I mean, really, it's because everything is for profit. Everything is driven by big business, you know? Like, I mean, college is big business, you know?
It's
like
a big business,
yeah, it's a
dog.
lot of money, you know? And again, we're sold on this whole story that in order to get a good job, you know, you're gonna have to go to school, you know? And that's just not the case. You can get you know, you can do an apprenticeship, you can, you know, do something that's, you know, more, I don't know, hands-on, and you can get a better paying job than if you were to go to school, you know, for 4 years or however long and put yourself massively in debt.